I got chills right now. This human being next to me, it was a dream come true. This is a former WWE superstar, the Blueprint, the only undefeated American gladiator right here, Matt Morgan. We call him Mr. Strongwood, our mayor.
To the Reflection Show. My name is Ramsey Razard. You never go to the mirror scripted. You always go unscripted. And today I have an amazing, two beautiful individuals right here in the business that's getting ready to share with us what's inside of their vote. We have the one and only, from Hero Strong, the CEO, the founder, David Rubin, and we also have Mayor Matt Morgan!
Let's go. Thank you so much.
What's up, beautiful people?
Quite an introduction. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. How you doing, David?
It's a beautiful day. We're going to talk about Hero Strong. Giving love to our heroes is just what our organization is all about. So just want to say thank you for this opportunity to love our heroes and their families.
It's a beautiful thing to have, Mayor Matt Morgan here partnering with Hero Strongs to really bring a great exposure to the community. Let's start with you, David. What started Hero Strong and what led you to want to create such a powerful nonprofit organization such as this?
Well, it started, I'm a youth coach. I'm around a lot of kids and families, and I reached out to our law enforcement officers to come and be a keynote speaker and to talk about being proactive and being a great teammate, and then started getting more connected and learning about what our heroes go through on a day-to-day basis. And I'm like, wow, these human beings do so much for us. We need to continue to bridge this gap. And then we got more connected with the firefighters. My mom was an educator for 35 years strong, teaching emotionally handicapped autistic students. So our educators around our students. And there was a huge missing gap that we wanted to fulfill. And then we got hit with Hurricane Irma in 2017. And that's when I made a Facebook post and said, who wants to come together to celebrate our community, to thank our local businesses, and also to thank our everyday heroes. And that's how it started. In 5 weeks, we put together a 3-day weekend event, called it a Winning Wekiva Weekend, Wekiva Strong, in Orlando, Florida. And then the following year, it grew. More people wanted to get involved. People were asking questions. What are you doing? Are you doing it again? And then next thing you know, we had businesses that wanted to donate money, but we couldn't accept it. And there was something powerful to these interactions. And they said, we want to help. Next thing you know, we're sitting in a law firm, and we basically became Hero Strong, an international nonprofit organization, so we can say our thank you to our everyday heroes, which is our law enforcement officers, our fire department, our educators, our medical field, and our military.
And Mayor, to hear the passion behind David with Hero Strong, as a mayor, how does it uplift your leadership?
Good question. First, before leadership, personally, it lifts me it lifted me. Back when you heard David bring up, it first originated as Wekiva Strong, is what Hero Strong emanated out of, essentially. Wekiva, for those keeping score at home, is inside of unincorporated Longwood, meaning they're governed technically by Seminole County, not the city of incorporated Longwood, us. All right, so I was invited. I went out to go watch this awesome flag retirement ceremony on behalf of Hero Strong. It was my first flag retirement ceremony I'd ever seen in my life. Never knew how you properly retired a flag. I would argue everybody watching this, the majority of them don't know either. And you don't know until you go to one. Long story short, I was beyond impressed. I was impressed with not just the attendance at this event, but how many of them came from our city of Longwood, and most importantly, David, in what his messaging was of thank you and giving back to those everyday heroes. Super impressed by that. I brought my wife and my son out to that. David had me as a speaker that day at the flag retirement ceremony, and to see how touched everybody was by that. We had God,
World II veteran.
Right, and
Yep.
then we have a firefighter as well from like Chicago.
Florida Firefighter of the Year, Jason Wheat, Hero Jason Wheat.
And we had one, a veteran, a senior citizen from Chicago. I could have sworn.
Well, that was a World
That was
War II
the one.
veteran,
Yeah.
35 years in the fire department, and a World War II veteran that we gave a standing ovation to. You lifted him up.
It was crazy.
That was living in Longwood.
That was at yes, and Wekiva Strong. That was
at this
Wow.
event I'm telling you about in Wekiva. And I'm getting to the good hook here of part David left out because he was trying to get in what he can. But that was after I saw that event, and David asked me if I could be a part of this organization because of how impressed and blown away by it I was. Then I eventually asked David, not too long after that we need to get this in the city of Longwood. This needs to be at Ryder Park, front and center stage, so more people can learn about it, be a part about it, participate, and most importantly, so our heroes can have the proper facility to be praised.
David, did you ever dream that one day Hero Strong would be partnering with Longwood, or did you ever dream that the vision that you've been blessed to have would be able to bring a mayor out to support this?
I got chills right now. This human being next to me, it was a dream come true. This is a former WWE superstar, the Blueprint, the only undefeated American gladiator right here, Matt Morgan. We call him Mr. Strongwood, our mayor. He does so much for so many different people. All different ages. He's on our board of directors for Hero Strong.
Wow.
That is a dream come true, and to have him be here and to help us say our thank you to our heroes. Talk about honor. I mean, we honored a couple of our fallen hero families at our Thank You Hero ceremony recently, and one of the emails that we got was, you have a mayor out there recognizing our heroes, and talk about bridging the gap between the community and our heroes. I just want to say, I'm going to shake your hand and just say thank you. I mean, it's just absolutely amazing, and a dream come true, because I lived in Longwood my entire life. Unincorporated Longwood, but Longwood, Florida. When I write 32779, it says Longwood, and now because of this guy right here, it is now officially known as Strongwood.
Yep.
And that is the home of Hero Strong, which is the greatest honor in the world. And if you've never been to Ryder Park, if we were going to make a movie, which one day we are going to, it is sitting there right next to the Longwood Police Department, right next to the fire department, Orlando Health Hospital. You can't draw a better home.
I swear to God.
It's the most perfect home.
You could throw a baseball and hit it. I swear to all three of those buildings.
All three.
Yep.
So, we are living in a culture where, a lot of our heroes are not represented well, or they're not being celebrated well. David, in your heart, you've carved this beautiful picture of what it means as far as servitude. Mayor, when you see that, how does that make you feel as far as the next generation for Longwood?
Very excited. I feel obviously more rest assured knowing that we still have more to go. We still have more work to do. But if you heard part of the Everyday Heroes that David's talking about, it's our educators. They're forming our future leaders of tomorrow right now, right? So talk about a group that needs that pick-me-up. They're the lowest paid of any of the important people in this world by any stretch of the imagination. I think we all agree. Everybody agrees to that. Teachers all across America are never going to be paid what they're truly worth, right? But with that said, that's a huge responsibility they have. That right now they're, again, forming and cultivating our future president. Like, think about that.
That's big.
That's enormous. Or the next David Rubin. That creates another type of Hero Strong somewhere else in the country right now.
Yeah.
And the list goes on. And that's just one component of Hero Strong, of our everyday heroes. One component of our everyday heroes, I should say. Our educators. So, about setting up our future leaders of tomorrow, this organization does the best job, in my opinion, of doing that, of giving love to these kids and our youth. And David does it in a bevy of different ways. I'll argue, even outside of Hero Strong, he does as the best youth coach I've ever seen in my lifetime.
Yeah.
My son is nonverbal autistic, meaning he can't communicate. He doesn't know how to really speak. And David taught him how to hit a pitched ball to him. He's a tremendous youth baseball coach. Seriously, the best of the best.
So it's amazing how his leadership has become your son hero.
Yeah,
You know,
sure.
and most people don't see it that way. A hero is not someone who's going to give you anything. A hero is someone who turns an adversity into a place of victory. And, you know, David, great job. I just want to congratulate you because as you hear it from the mayor, you are the #1 nonprofit organization that he supports wholeheartedly because of what you've done.
Yes.
You know, to see the greatest support of the community, small businesses come together, what does that mean for you all? You know, as far as sponsorship, because it's always hard to get sponsors, right?
Yes.
Right? Especially we just came out of the pandemic and
Yes.
a lot of things has occurred. But to see businesses in the local community to come together to just give towards Hero Strong,
So-
how does that make you guys feel?
So let me get this, David, because David does a really good job of making everybody feel. David's the most authentic human being you're ever going to meet.
I want you to say that again and look right at him and tell him that.
David Rubin is hands down the most authentic human being you are going to meet. Those of you watching this right now, hands down. And there'll be those that get jealous from time to time in a very weird and odd way. I don't get why, but some people will think it's a put on, it's not real, there's no way it could be that real. Trust me, it's real. This guy's energy is forever. And the reason I'm saying that is because our businesses and our sponsors love that about him. And what he does a really good job of is not just saying thank you to our sponsors, but making our sponsors a part of all of our programs. Like he was adamant at our last Hero Strong Thank You Hero ceremony of making sure that we just didn't have banners and stuff like that with our sponsors up. They had booths there. He went around with a microphone to every single one of their booths and had them plug what it was they did, but not in the prototypical cheap plug manner. It was the David Rubin Midas touch, if you will.
The David Rubin Midas
of how David communicates, how energetic he is, and how he can get a room rocking. And it's just, you cannot duplicate.
Let's talk about this
What
previous
he
event
does.
that you all just had. What was the turnout like? And talk about a little bit of what happened that day, David.
The strongest, most successful, and the most important thing, our heroes felt our love. And when we talk about our heroes, we're also talking about the families, right? Because when our military deploy overseas, these family members are waiting for them to come home, waiting for that phone call. When our law enforcement officers go to protect and serve us all, they're waiting for their car to come home to make sure they arrive home safely.
Yeah.
And we literally just had the biggest event we've ever had in Hero Strong history. Most vendors, most sponsors, the most attendance. We give out gold hero medals. We gave out over 70 gold hero medals.
And what does the gold medal represent?
That our heroes are #1. I mean, Hero Strong is all about the gold Hero Strong standard.
I want you to stop for a second. I want you to look right there and remind a hero that they are what?
You heroes out there, to all of our law enforcement officers, our fire department, our educators, our medical field, and our military, we are Hero Strong because you and your families are #1. What you do for us all, thank you is not enough, and that is why we call you our heroes, for your service, your strength, your support to the community, and your selflessness. We are safe, we are strong, we are smarter because of you.
And
Can I just say, that's David Rubin Midas touch right there. You cannot duplicate that.
Yeah.
You cannot script that.
yeah, I remember when I first met David, I was like, man, I know my personality is wild and crazy, but what drew me closer to David was his passion.
Yeah.
You know, every
Yes.
event I'm at for Community Pros or for Warm-Hearted Children, Women and Children, or Feed a Palooza, you see David, he's ready to shout out Hero Strong.
Yes.
I mean, he's taking water to the police officers. He's making sure that they're good. I mean, David has always been, from my point of view, a young man who continues to strive after, making sure that the police officers are not forgotten. Military families are not forgotten. Families who've lost their husband and wives in the military. David is still there to step into the gap to intercede on that behalf. And I just
Sir.
want to tell you, I'm proud of you, David.
Thank you.
Because that's important. You know, we cannot forget those who serve our communities. We cannot forget those who serve for our country. We cannot forget those who serve in the hospital when our families are sick and we can't be there, right? We can't
Yes.
forget those who are standing in the middle of that classroom to ensure that our kids
Yes.
get the best education that they can
Yes.
they can get, right? And we can't forget those heroes like David, those who are mentors out in the field, whether it's baseball, football, whatever community activity it is. We cannot forget that, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
And that's what I appreciate about you, David, and Mayor. This is one thing I love about, you know, you coming on board as a mayor, because most people at your caliber would say they don't have time, right? But you took the initiative to go forth and to partner with Hero Strong and to be a part of the board. What's your reason of being a part of the board of Hero Strong? From your perspective, from your heart.
I'll be honest. I always, even though I wasn't part of the board, I always felt like I was part of the board.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Like it drew you in.
Well, no, just like because I
He's
love,
part of the team.
Like, yeah, that's my better word. I always felt like I was part of the team
Yep.
from day one. Actually, seriously.
Yeah.
I'd say from that flag retirement ceremony in Wekiva Springs,
Wekiva Island.
Wekiva Island, on from that moment on. I'd say. Yeah, and just again, I have a different type of platform, right? It's not just people. For whatever reason, we live in a weird society, right, where people emulate or look up to, you know, celebrities. I disagree with it, you know, terribly, but that is a society we live in. So if you have 700,000 followers on Instagram, that means you're cool. If you have 200,000 on Twitter, it means you're cool. It's stupid, but that is the society we live in, right?
Right.
So my job is to use that, the best of my ability as a platform, to get shine on proper people
Yeah.
and the things that these people are doing in our community to make it a better place that my little boy's going to grow up in one day. And that's what I really do. I believe God made me a wrestler for that reason, made me an American
Yeah.
Gladiator for that reason, made me 7 feet tall for that reason.
Yeah.
All
Because you are tall, Mayor. I don't think a lot of people realize how tall are you, Mayor?
I'm 7 feet.
Oh my goodness.
But for real, I do believe it's all for a purpose. Not sound
Yeah.
holier than thou. I do believe it's all to use as a platform
Yeah.
to get that floodlight on important issues in our community. It's dead serious. I wasn't a politician or followed politics at all whatsoever. I hardly even watched the news, if I'm being honest. I got involved in all this when my son was born. I want to leave my indelible thumbprint on the community and the environment he's going to grow up in. Then you realize, well, that's not so novel. Every parent thinks that. So I got my, you know, threw my name in the hat, so to speak, ran for commission in City Longwood, won back in 2017, got reelected again in 2020. But do it in a manner of which I'd argue is very different from other politicians. And so I only consider myself a politician. I consider myself a public servant like David considers himself a public servant. No different. Dead serious. And our job is to serve as many people in this community as we can. David serves our heroes.
Yeah.
And our youth as well. A lot of people leave that out. He's incredible. I cannot say that enough.
Yeah.
So he's got all demographics covered, in my opinion. And I shouldn't say some people are more important than others. I shouldn't say that. But by the same token, the people that constitute our Hero Strong everyday heroes, that you just heard David reel off here a few minutes ago, they are. And they need to be. Those need to be our heroes. Those need to be the ones that our kids are looking up to. LeBron James, love him, huge fan, right?
Right.
But I don't think our kids should be looking up to him or Drake or etc. I think they should be looking up to him.
Yeah.
Our police officers, our firefighters, our teachers,
Yeah.
our teachers, God forbid our teachers, our military vets, our nurses, our
Yeah.
doctors. Think about that. A nurse sees everybody on everybody's worst day.
Yeah.
Literally everybody's worst day.
That's true.
Crab, you don't want to be in there. And that nurse has got to go in there with a smile and try to put a smile on their face.
Yeah.
What?
But that's what makes
And they're
everybody
underpaid.
a hero, you know. And,
Without question.
And that's why I love the fact, which is key. You have your local heroes, you have your global heroes.
Yeah.
You just got to know what hero benefits you and which hero are actually investing in you, right?
Yeah.
And we see that Hero Strong is investing into every local community that's going to turn into a global community, because that's what's happening now. So we're getting ready to end the show now. And I like to say, you know, there is somebody on the other side of that mirror, right? And they're looking at themselves and they're hearing this conversation. And now you have something in your vote that you can share with them as we look inside of your business to help shift their business so that they can see the value behind Hero Strong. David, we'll start with you from a personal level. How could you encourage someone to be a part of Hero Strong, whether it's volunteering or whether it's serving? What would you like to tell that person right there?
When you need them most, who comes to protect you, to keep you safe, to fight for the greatest country in the world? Our everyday heroes are out there serving us all, and a thank you is not enough. So get involved. Whether you want to sponsor, you want to volunteer, you want to come out to our events, but more importantly, thank them and appreciate them, because that thank you touches their heart, stays in their mind forever, that they are feeling supported. There is no price for what these heroes do for us all, and that's why we need to lead with love. And that's why we created this gold Hero Strong standard. We roll out the gold Hero Strong carpet. We provide them with a check that says there's no price for what you do to us, made out to priceless. There's no price for what our heroes do for us all. And if you're watching this right now, thank our heroes. That's how simple it is, because we need to continue to lift them up, support them. They're seeing things that no human body should ever see. They're saving people's lives, but they're also seeing their best friends no longer with them. They're seeing their sergeants that they were in battle with, boots on the ground, that they're not returning home with. They're not returning with their limbs. They're losing they're becoming deaf. I mean, there's just so many things that we take for granted that our heroes have to just kind of persevere through. And that's why we as a community need to be there for them, and we're all stronger together. So heroes, if you're watching this right now, everything we do is because you all are number one. You and your families are why we do everything.
And Mayor, from a place of leadership, what words of encouragement out of your vote that you can share with every business owner that's watching this as far as supporting Hero Strong?
Every business owner?
Every business owner you're talking to right now.
Sure, if you're a business owner and you're watching this and you live in Seminole County and you haven't even heard of Hero Strong, I'm just going to be honest, shame on you. But there's still a chance. All jokes aside, we need your help. We need your help. And I say we, I don't mean David and I and Hero Strong. I mean our heroes. Yep. They need your help. David just said earlier, a thank you is not enough, and he's right. So what does that mean? That sounds like a cool bumper sticker. Matt, what does that really mean? It means a lot, actually. It means we need to change the atmosphere in society of looking up to these certain quote-unquote celebrities as our children's heroes, and instead get to a point where it is our teacher, it is that nurse, it is that military veteran or that active member of military today, or that police officer or that firefighter. Very important. And I think David and Hero Strong is definitely leading the way in this department of trying to get society that, at least here in Seminole County, I do feel very strongly that we are making an impression in getting that change shifted. And we could tell because we had more kids at our last event. Yeah. And oh my God, what this child read off on a letter.
Our youth ambassador, Gio.
It was incredible, incredible. Tears to our eyes as we were watching him read this. And it wasn't like a term paper for him. He wasn't getting a letter grade on this. It was something on his own accord that he wrote. And it says so much that we're setting the right tone here in Seminole County in Central Florida of respecting and loving, not just honoring, but loving our heroes. And if you want to be a part of that, and you're a business out there, we can sure use your help. Obviously, the more funds we're able to fundraise for this nonprofit organization, the better. We could do even cooler, more exciting events for our heroes and equally their families. So again, if you're a business watching this, we need your help. We would be more than happy to sit down and talk with you. And I promise you, you will get it back. If you're obviously business savvy, if you're a business owner, right? I promise it, you will get it back in spades. Not just in community outreach, but obviously I would argue in dollars and dollar signs as well, because I know a lot of people in this community that want to support local owned businesses that are willing to invest emotionally in their own communities. So if you're one of those businesses, please contact this gentleman here to my right, David Rubin, and let's get you cracking and getting you a part of our team.
As you heard it right here on the Reflection Show Inside the Business, there is no price that they can pay for what the heroes do. This is Ramsey Rizard on The Reflection Show, Inside the Business. Thank you so much for watching. And remember, your experience matters.